Hey everyone, Life Coach Carissa here, back again with a new inspiring message to share this week. First of all, I have to say, I can't believe it. Spring is like literally 2 days away, and I'm so excited. How about you? I am just ready for all the signs of spring to start popping up around us. I noticed recently the birds just chattering away in the morning have just kind of filled me with a sense of overwhelming joy. What is your favorite part of spring? What part do you love about it the most? I think for me, it's definitely the spotting of like new green grass and flowers popping up, and then of course the birds chirping. So try to enjoy every single day that this new spring season is going to be bringing us. So this March, I've been diving into a powerful theme around money mindset and financial confidence. The one 2 weeks ago was really exploring where those limiting beliefs came from. And today, I really want to dig in a little bit deeper from another angle, because financial stress is such a common struggle, right? Taking time to understand where our money beliefs come from can be life changing. I know this firsthand because shifting my mindset helped me break free from the grip of scarcity that really did hold me back for so many years. And I want that for you too. I want you to be able to cultivate a money mindset that supports you, empowers you, and really sets you up to thrive. So today I'm going to tackle a big issue that's part of all of this money mindset and confidence, which is why women tend to undercharge or undervalue themselves. And more importantly, how do we change that? So I want to ask you, have you ever hesitated to ask for more in the way of monetary, right? Maybe from your employer, or if you are self-employed, have you felt uneasy before you state your price, right? Do you feel that in your stomach before you state what your price is? Are you worrying that you're asking too much? Or, maybe you've accepted less than your worth because deep down, something inside of you questioned whether you truly deserved that much, or do you deserve more? And if this sounds familiar at all, I want you to know you're not alone. This isn't just about money. It's about something much deeper. It's our inherited beliefs about worth, success, and what it truly means to be valuable. I don't think most of us walk around feeling our value. We have to explore that. We have to cultivate that. And this is why I want to challenge that old narrative that you have and help you break free from this cycle. Because the truth is, you are worth far more than you've been led to believe. And it truly is time to own it. So I want to start with a personal story to example how the programming starts early on. Because for me, this pattern was ingrained from a young age. I grew up in a family business and I absorbed these unspoken rules about value and worth, and rules that weren't always written in my favor. I felt like I was a strong contributor. I was very committed to my family business, this career, and my family, but yet I carried this nagging belief that it would never be enough. And so beneath my drive was this unshakable sense of power. But that power was constantly clashing with the programming I inherited. Messages that were told to me again and again that I was worth less simply because I was a woman. One of the most painful moments that stands out for me is when my father actually told me in a meeting with our accountant present that women are not worth as much because they have a uterus. I mean, imagine what that does to a young woman's self-worth. It planted a seed, one that whispered that my contributions would always kind of be second class, that my ability to create life somehow made me a liability rather than an asset. And then there was this story on top of that I built, that I had this belief that my intelligence was lacking because I didn't take the traditional college route. I chose to go right into the family business, worked there all the way through elementary school, middle school, high school. And so layer by layer, this inherited programming shaped my perception of what was possible. And it really did replace optimism with limitation and potential with settling. But I want to make it clear, I don't share this personal story to paint my father in a negative light. The truth is, his views weren't entirely his own. They were echoes of the generations before him, passed down like an heirloom. And he too had been shaped by the beliefs of those who came before. And that's the thing about programming, right? Until we recognize it for what it is, we keep running the same script, never questioning, is this really serving me? Do I believe this? And so there's this emotional toll because realizing that pattern was painful. On some level, I knew it wasn't true. I knew I was capable and strong of great things, but that didn't stop the frustration, the anger, and the constant internal battle between knowing my worth and subconsciously believing that I had to constantly prove it. And I mean, let's be real, when you're stuck in that mindset, it spills over into every area of your life. I lived in a constant state of irritation. I snapped at those I love. I was really caught between wanting to be seen and then fearing that I never truly would be. I really became disconnected from myself. I was torn between the truth I wanted to believe and the toxic thoughts that had been embedded in me for years. And so why does this happen? Why do so many women struggle to charge or ask for what they're worth? I believe we're conditioned to be caregivers, to give endlessly without expectation of return. We're told that love and care and emotional labor are just part of the job, not something to really be valued or compensated. And meanwhile, success is often framed in more masculine terms: monetary gain, climbing the corporate ladder, sacrifice at all costs. And if we internalize that our strengths, our ability to nurture, create, to hold space for others don't hold the same weight, we really do start to devalue ourselves in every area of life, including business and career. So as I touched on earlier, much of this struggle comes from generational and cultural conditioning. If your family believes that women are inherently less valuable, even in subtle ways, you carry that with you. And if no one steps up to challenge it, you start to believe it's just the way things are. I mean, even in a more progressive society, the remnants of that programming remain. Women are still judged differently in the workplace, still expected to do more for less in some cases. And if we've been raised to accept that, we won't question it. We'll just assume that's the price we have to pay. So let's talk about where this shows up. This mindset doesn't just affect our careers. It affects how we show up in relationships, how we set boundaries, how we view ourselves as mothers, daughters, sisters, friends. I saw firsthand in my own life. Looking back, I can see how I felt like I had to compete with the men around me to be taken seriously in the business world. And so I actually kind of tried to overcompensate, and I became very controlling and strong in my marriage. I would push myself to the limit, believing that only by proving my work ethic could I justify my worth. And even in moments that should have been sacred, breastfeeding my newborns while I'm standing in a bathroom at work, I still felt this pressure to put the business first, as if my own needs and the needs of this newborn were an inconvenience. And it wasn't just me, because I watched my mother undervalue herself for years, being paid less than she deserved, having her financial decisions scrutinized, not being fully empowered, and really never receiving the recognition that she earned, raising a family while helping start up a new business from nothing to something. That was the model that I had. And I know many of you have probably lived through something very similar. So what happens when we continue this cycle? Well, there is a real cost to undervaluing yourself. We disconnect from ourselves. We second guess our instincts. We overwork, we overgive, we underreceive, and eventually it catches up with us, whether that's through burnout and resentment or just a deep dissatisfaction that sometimes you can't even quite put into words. And for me, it created tension in my family. I felt resentful towards my brothers sometimes, not because of anything they did, but because I felt unseen and undervalued in comparison. It wasn't until later that I realized they were just shaped, the same way from our father's beliefs as I was. And the real issue wasn't them, it was the programming that we all had inherited. So, how do we break free from this? How do we start valuing ourselves and confidently charge what we deserve or ask for what we deserve? Number one is to recognize the programming. The first step is awareness. I always say this: acknowledge where the beliefs came from. Question them. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Or was I just taught to believe this? Number two, rewrite your narrative. Start replacing those old inherited beliefs with ones that serve you better. Instead of, I have to prove my worth, shift to something like, my worth is inherent and my work is valuable. Number three, set the standard. Stop looking for permission. You decide your value. If you undercharge or you just accept what you've been given when you know it does not match your contribution, you teach others to undervalue it. So know your worth, state it clearly, and stand firm in it. Number four, surround yourself with people who get it. If you're constantly around people who reinforce old narratives, it's hard to break free. So try to find mentors, colleagues, friends, a coach who celebrate your worth and encourage you to own it. That is what I do with every single one of my clients. I help them discover it and own it and celebrate it. And the last one, number five, take up space unapologetically. Whether you're in a business meeting, a negotiation, or just in your daily life, stop shrinking yourself. Speak with confidence. Own your expertise. And never feel the need to justify your worth. I want you to ask yourself right now, where am I undercharging or undervaluing myself? Where am I allowing outdated beliefs to dictate my worth? And then take one small step to change it. Present the facts for the value that you contribute to your organization. Raise your prices. Speak up in a meeting. Say no to unpaid emotional labor. Whatever it is, start today, because the world doesn't just need more hardworking, self-sacrificing women. The world needs more women who know their worth and own it, because we will show up as our authentic self and be able to do amazing things in our community, in our world, in our families, in our homes. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you today. If this message resonated with you, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Maybe there's someone you know that would really need to hear this message. And if you are ready to break through your financial blocks and create lasting confidence, we should talk. I don't do cookie cutter coaching. I co-create bold, customized strategies to help you rewrite these narratives and stories so that you can build the financial confidence that you deserve. You can schedule a complimentary clarity call by visiting lifecoachingwithcarissa.com, and we'll see if my high-touch coaching is a good fit for you. Because remember, you are worthy, you are valuable, and it is time that you started believing it. I started this journey at age 47, and by age 50, I finally see my tremendous value, and I believe it wholeheartedly. And this is what you can do for yourself as well. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next video.